Hello everyone, my name is Notepad Anon and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Okay, obviously we're going to try to finish, anyway, we're going to attempt to finish, and Towards the Dawn. We really only have the ending bit to go with yet, we only really have the ending to do. It shouldn't be too difficult, and we're going to go until it's done. Easy enough to understand, right? Well, we got a lot to do. But that's half the fun of it, right? So, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. People are... I don't even know what the fuck's going on in my server's chat right now. I got nothing for you guys there. I just had dinner. As you can kind of see, I did do some art stuff, quote unquote. Generally speaking, right now, we just have to do this. And I just have to do it. God fucking damn it. Da, 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 da. Yeah, this was something I actually ended up just generating on. I did finally take the plunge. Nom 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 formatting. What are we missing at the end of the day is, if we go all the way down here, this is end of the road. Pretty much the ending. We need to do talents, mostly. We need to do talents, which is going to be more of the, what is the legs of the journey? What's advancement actually looking at, even though these are technically going to be the same thing. And kind of with a little bit of an ending bit being like, where are we actually going, and like what is, you know, kind of more of the like the GM section, if that makes sense. That's pretty much all that really needs to be done. The issue is that there's going to be quite a few talents. We just have to go through this, and that's going to be also our time to kind of go through and really double check everything. So, well, let's go. Let's do this. Should be easy. Again, it's not going to be hard, it's just going to be long, if that makes sense. Just going to be a very long and exciting trip of sitting here and waiting. It's just going to be me writing. So get ready. Let's see. So, how do I want to start this? How do I even want to start this section? let's see. The drifters are heading toward a goal, one that will force them to compromise their beliefs. Actually, one that will force them to challenge their abilities. And I'm noticing already I'm dropping frames. If you kind of notice me kind of wobbling a little bit, don't know what's going on there. Nothing should be on. Downloading something Steam? You shouldn't be downloading something. Let's make Steam go. We don't need Steam anymore. We have something open that shouldn't be open. Nope, nothing is open that shouldn't be open. We good? We good, Steam? We good? No. What's going on? Why do I keep dropping frames? I'm just gonna stare at it for a minute. Do we have like an update? No, no update. I even did a test and everything just to make sure that this was working all right. Nothing was going wrong. I'm not. Oh. Give me one moment. I need to check something. So, fun fact there. What I did was I looked over at my little Wi-Fi box, as you all know, and I saw, it wasn't that 5 minutes ago, but what I saw was it started flashing red randomly. So it's like, oh, this is gonna be one of those streams, isn't it? I don't know what's going on, really, guys. Fun fact. What out? Yeah, I keep seeing it. I keep seeing stuff drop every now and again, so I'm kind of just going. I'm looking there. I'm like, okay, maybe did the Ethernet cable kind of get shifted around where it shouldn't, which happens. Wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. If just like an Ethernet cable kind of got moved around. Let me just double check everything. So if I go out, so we're gonna live on air, you know. Okay, all the wires should be in place. We're just gonna sit here for like 5 seconds. All right, we're just gonna sit here. We're gonna notice it. Me and you, nice and calm like. Oh, we dropping again? We dropping, boys? No, I'm not relying on like stream health from Twitch here. I'm not relying on that. I'm relying on OBS. OBS is a lot more reliable. The Twitch likes to tell you something like a minute after. So I'm looking. Oh, drops. So I'm feeling good. We're gonna just continue on like nothing happened, all right? All right. I'm gonna keep it open though, just so I can constantly see what's going on. So, the drifters are headed toward a goal when they'll force them to challenge their abilities. And one that will be actually force them to challenge their abilities and beliefs to survive the harsh reality of the Ashlands. However, there is a destination. There is a destination, a shining star shining, a shining star at the end of the rainbow. Shining star at the end of the rainbow. Shining star at the end of the rainbow. But getting there is going. Getting there is going to be hell. Getting there is going to be hell. The drifter's journey, the drifter's travels are broken down into legs. Each one represented by a zone and its various problems. When the drifters enter into a new zone, they'll represented by a zone and its travels are broken down into legs, each one represented by a zone and its various problems. Managing to power through the zone and its the zone's trials allows the drifters to progress to the next. Managing to power through the zone's trial allow the progress to the next. These legs both determine the rough distance the drifters have undergone. Let's see. These legs both determine the rough distance the drifters have gone. Rough distance the drifters have traveled, but also the change in their perspectives and ability and skill at traveling. The drifters will gain. There is no experience points. There's no experience points or There's no experience points or there's no experience points in and towards the dawn. Each crossroads brings a new milestone in the development of the drifters story. The drifters story as well as their personal lives. There we go. No experience points. Fuck yeah. Gradually over time, I've shifted away from being like experience points. I've kind of drifted away from those this over time. There are no experience points in traveling in and towards the dawn. Each crossroads brings a new milestone in the development of the drifter story in their personal lives. So we want to do heading to how do I want? Effectively, this is going to be the actually no, natural development. Every time the drifters complete a leg of the journey by reaching the crossroads. They will naturally develop, allowing them to representing being able to take a breath. Representing being able to take a breath and internalize some of the skills they've developed. Each drifter when reaching the crossroads and reaching the next zone. I'm going to put that in specific, that you have to reach the next zone, where it's not like you reach the crossroads and then that's it. No, you reach it when you reach the next zone. You have to reach the crossroads and the next zone. In case you get stuck at the crossroads or something. Each drifter, when reaching the crossroads in the next zone, will gain +2 skill points to distribute as they see fit. Distribute as they wish. A talent representing their abilities, and vampires with a lineage. Let's see, a talent representing their abilities, and vampires with a lineage will take a mutation as their body shifts and as their body changes with stress. With a lineage, there we go. Am I coming in all right? That's an important question. I'm seeing it on my end that I'm dropping frames. I see that on my end. I don't know if you guys are even noticing it. It might just be like a small hiccup and nothing. It doesn't even register. I don't know. So if you are noticing some weird, what I need to do, actually, this is a big thing for me, is what I need to do is I need to get a new set of new Ethernet cable. But the Ethernet cable I do have is gigantic. So I don't want to like just get rid of that one because it's very useful, and I need to double check which ones are working properly. Because the issue is the one that connects my modem and my router, one that connects those two things together, that broke. The little I don't know what you would call it, little thing actually snapped off one day. No idea how it snapped off, but it did. So it's been held together by faith at this point, and I haven't been able to really go get a new one. So I'm gonna have to probably. I do plan on going to the store. This week, so I will most likely see if I can grab one. Because fun fact, I'm going to go to the movies this week. Yes, I'm going to the movies. Because guess what's coming out on the 29th, everybody? Guess what? It's going to be the best movie ever made. It's going to be the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I don't think people quite understand how excited I am for the Dungeons and Dragons movie in the worst ways possible. I need to see how wrong it goes. That's like my personal belief. I need to see how it just goes wrong. And like part of me really wants to say, oh, it's going to be great, but I know it's not. I know it's not. I know it. You know it. We all know it. It's not going to be a good movie, but I can believe, right? Right, everyone? Can you believe that it's going to be a good movie? Maybe that's all that really matters. If I have the blind faith that the Dungeons and Dragons movie is going to be a good one. I know that I am either schizophrenic or I've lost all will to live. Even though apparently there are already cam rips out there of it, and apparently it's garbage. But this is also coming from Kino, which everything that isn't perfect is garbage, so. Okay, plus 2 skill points to me as they see with a talent representing their abilities. A vampire with a lineage will take position as their body change. Press. We're going to do talents. A talent is a natural expression of either innate skills, hardened training, innate skills, training, or even a little bit of good fortune coming toward drifter. Coming toward the drifter. Each talent may only be taken once. Each talent may only be taken once. Which depending on the length of the journey, maybe very few talents to go around. When a talent is always active, and there is no way to fully lose a talent either. No way to fully lose a talent either. They are innate to the drifter and their struggles. Humans and vampires are free to take any talent they wish. Again, we're just going to put that as a note, and we're going to then put after this, it should 3. I didn't need that correct, so we're going to do that. There may be very. I specifically wanted to do it this way because I thought it would be a little bit easier to kind of keep things in order, if that makes sense. I wanted to make sure that people understood, like, hey, these aren't like you aren't going to get like a fuck ton of these talents, but that's not the point. You're not supposed to get a shit ton of talents. That's not the intent, really. So let's how do we want to do this? You know what? We're just gonna write down what we need, okay? We're just gonna write down. We're gonna start from the very top, all 75 fucking pages of this game. We're going to start from the top, and we are going to just go down the list and see what we can add. Because again, as I've stated previously, it's each of every mechanic you add is something you can reference later on. If you don't add a mechanic, you're not going to be referencing it. Pretty easy to understand. If you never have something that says that you can lose health, you can't lose health, because if you start doing shit like that, people are going to start getting confused. And I also gotta just double check all things. As you kind of see, I say things in American English a lot of the time. I've been trying to move it to more of the British English, because British English is a little bit more consistent in some aspects. But I'm also American, so I have a bad tendency of where I will do. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it right now. Let's just think about this. Fuck. Let's change the look. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do favor. Favor. That's all. Fine. Colors. Let's let's see some other odd words. Centralize. What am I talking about? Everything should. I'm going plain. I type like two things in British English because change location to American. I type like two things in American English and British English because I find it a lot easier. No, we have down the list again. Let's think. What are we organizations? What are we looking for? Not barrels. So the main thing we're going to be working with is difficulty. Difficulties are going to be their own thing. So judgment, extended judgments, pain and recovery check. So maybe we can do something. Okay, no, let's we're gonna have to interact with the blood die a little bit. Anyway we use it, we will be using the blood die. So that's just something we have to kind of think about. So why we wander? We don't need that. Who we are doesn't really matter. Characteristics. Actually, I know. Reach a characteristic by 1. Do we want to do it? You know what? No, we're going to do increase. Yeah, I want characteristics to feel actually pretty gaining. We'll say like gain 3 skill points. I want the characteristics to feel very set. Like, you're not really going to change this. Like, that's going to be kind of like one of the big things there. It's like you don't really get a lot of ideas here. For illustrated example, original mothership raw wants you to recalculate TNs by percent on a D20. Yeah, which is, yeah, it's shit like that. Skills. So we're going to be adding skills, obviously. Just 4 skill points is going to be a talent, which is like, yeah, here's 2. You get a shit ton more skill points to kind of play around with, but there's a lot of these, so we don't really need to worry about that. I should reduce the size of you by 2. Gotta keep everything consistent. The damned and the bloody. Humans. Vampires, we're gonna have to do these ones independently. We're not gonna worry about that too much. Okay, actually that should be one we that should be something we change anyway. No, going down already. We'll gain +2 skill points, talent. Can gain +1 redistribute their anchors and blood bond and add a +1 to any they wish, and add +1 to any they wish, and vampires will linear take immediate. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. So that's gonna be kind of the idea there. Stability and scars. So first things first. Increase stability by 10. You're just increasing your base stability by an amount. Scars, which we're going to be faster healing. We're going to do faster healing. We're going to do increase scar cap. Scar limit by 5. Pretty much means that you are a shit ton hardier. You can really take a lot more things than normal. Actually, so we can do driving. Driving equal +1. Like, anytime you're driving, you're going to be getting +1 handling. Driving equal +1 power. +5 capacity. We'll do +5 capacity for only gear / supplies. No, only resources, I should say. Only resources. Putting it all together, we don't have to worry about that. A long way to nowhere. Interact with one another easily during the dawn. zone biome. Okay, we're not going to think about the zone biome. Okay, we're going to reduce difficulty of tiles by 1. Just flat out, you're just a better driver. Easy enough to understand. You are a better driver than most. You actually know what the fuck you're doing. Ooh, feature tile. I'm not going to talk about that. Inhabited tiles. Bonus to knowing people, bonus to, actually, no, I want to do that. Let's see, free success when entering up to the worldly check, when entering / new zone. Just straight up, you get a free success. That's not, again, it's one of those things that's not going to pay off until much later. Or do you want to take it really early and maybe you can spend it somewhere else? That's kind of the idea there. I should say lower difficulty. We can do like lower difficulty of worldly check. If we're ever going to lower difficulty, we're going to do it by 2 each time, unless it's like a major one. Determine difficulty. Okay, we don't know about that. Across the ash. Increased recovery by 1D. Increased by recovery by 1D during traveling. Just, you're better at sleeping in the fucking car. Easy enough to understand. Iron. We'll do iron gut, which we can eat things without retching. Then we're going to do we'll do like something like iron will or something. Do not suffer starvation. Do not suffer starvation on the first day. Which is kind of like, you don't have to eat. You only have to pace out your meals pretty much every other day because you're just easy. You don't have to eat as much. You've pretty much done something a little bit more. When eating a meal, convert to food stuff into where it was pretty much I'm being a little bit more efficient here. We're going to do your meal, convert 2 food stuff into 2D recovery. Ignore pain for blood. That's gonna be kind of the thing to me. Like, yeah, if you take this, you can eat food normally without having to drink, consume blood. It's gonna cost you 2 resources, and you don't get anything out of it. But on the other hand, does not eat during the day. Actually, such as they will not gain recovery, but no further ill effect. Duty per day cycle, so it's pretty much you don't have to sleep nearly as much. You're not going to get punished as much for it, which you just need to hunt. You're pretty much just pushing yourself to its very fucking limits. Push it to the limit. Push it to the limit. All right, so hunting, better hunting result. We'll just do better hunting results. I'm going to do better inquiry results, inquire results, better mechanic, better mechanics, better mending. We're going to do better relaxing. Effectively, we're just going to let people make a better relaxing check. Scavenging, scavenging benefits. Scouting benefits. What's the there's a term to like shifting something over. Shifting something over slightly. Okay. Is it shunking? No, that's not it. Can't remember the correct term for it. But it's like doing like a quick little like shove. Actually, you can shove the vehicle during this, mostly for scouting benefits. Efficient tinkering, which we're going to do. What we can do is, trade tinkering, which is going to be a bigger one there. Actually, what we can do is ply thy trade. We can do something like ply thy trade a little bit, which is kind of the idea, like you can do any of these actions with the benefit of being like you're going to be able to, like, you can do these actions for a job. Effectively, people actually want to pay you money for this. Better hunting results, which we're just going to do like lowering the difficulty. It's just going to be lowering the difficulty and such, and that one. Scouting is easy enough. Tinkering, Tinker Tom. Call me Tinker Tom, everybody. Tinker Tom from hit game Fallout 4. The game that I will always laugh at. Funny Tinker moment, go funny, ha ha. Let's see, encounters, gambles, and spends. Spends again. Just because we use the term burn later on. Let's see. Counter checks. Lower common fear. Reduce. Pardon. Remove certain common fears. And then we're gonna do like There we go. We're just gonna be able to, like, you're gonna be removing or lessening certain common fears. Oh, let's see, half the pain check for feeding in both ideas, so it's like, yeah, you don't really want to do this. Vampire lineage, let's see, this would be the vampire lineage lowering value, and then removal of fear of actually vampire frenzy. So it's kind of like the idea being like, yeah, you're a vampire, okay, this is a lot easier for me to kind of like put together a little bit. Bonus initiative, lessen panic. Better shooting, better melee, which we're literally just going to be like, let's reduce the target number by 1. So it's a lot easier for you to kind of do things. Blood trauma. No, we're not going to touch blood trauma. I don't think blood trauma is going to be the better idea there. Specified reposition other. Actually, that reminds me. Paranatural expert, thunder, lightning, the momentum. Me momentum. Gimme, comma chameleon. Comma chameleon. The looming dread. Pretty much like a one-time thing. Like, I'm just going to try to reduce the looming dread by a certain amount. This is kind of like your little bit of a get out of jail free card. Not everyone should get it, but it's like, okay, this is pretty useful in its own right. So it's kind of like, okay, we know like they're burning a lot of dread. I mean, like, okay, it's only 2, so we can do this a little bit easier. Hey, we can do this a little bit easier. Actually, something like a low profile, which is reduce looming dread by 1 when gaining it. So it's kind of like you can offset some of it. You can't offset all of it. Let's see. Actually, better. Let's see. Better ammo rolls. We'll just do better ammo rolls. Better ammo rolls. Better bauble prices. Better bauble prices. But in never mind. This side note, the barter economy. Most places in the Ashlands don't have formal money or conversion rates. Instead, using the ancient art of haggling, threatening, bullshitting, and even outright begging to get deals across. This is represented by a fairly anomalous, anomalous Roughly speaking, each unit is worth 1 to 5 barter apiece. 1 to 5 barter apiece. With 1 to 5 barter apiece. Selling it is at half that. At best. It's kind of the idea of like, yeah, there is kind of like this barter economy going on, and with this barter economy, it's like you kind of got to figure out like what they're looking for and what you're looking for. It's like some people are going to want to get, some people want stuff, sell it. That's kind of like the idea is like it's fairly anomalous barter economy. I don't want to go like too in depth with it because that's not really the point. The point of the game isn't to make it about the barter economy. It's about making things interesting, which we're going to do. combat feeding because I think that'll be interesting. Let's see. Raise gear slots. Increase weapon slot. Increase weapon slots. Ooh, ooh, ooh. A rifle. Expert, because it's always you have that. This is my little bit on vehicles. I didn't really go over vehicles too much. As you kind of see here, this is kind of like, oh, these are the advanced upgrades. These are like this kind of the more basic upgrades that you can pick up. Not exactly the most like exciting stuff in the world, but it's vast majority of the time you're trading out capacity for stuff. I want to trade some of my capacity, our ability to actually keep shit, keep shit together, and I'm trading it for more movement speed. I'm trading it for more of this and more of that. Okay. So let's get this right here, and we're gonna just write in every single one of them. Because the thing is, here's what we're gonna be doing. This is the best part. We're gonna do, we're just gonna put these over here. As you can kind of see, we've got a total of 47 we can probably bring in. We're going to be, but that's not really going to be 47, by the way. So we're going to do increase body by +1. Stars increase Avos by +1. Let me see if I can't remember all the fucking attributes, cause I'm a silly boy. I'm just a silly clown. Let's see. So we want to do empathy. Peer to peer, increase empathy by +1. Logic driven, increase reason by +1. And keen edge, increase sense by +1. Alright, those are our basic ones there. So we're just going to get the skilled category, which is going to be gain +4 skill points. That's all it is. Increase stability by +10, faster healing, which we're going to be doing. Actually, we can do unbreakable first. Unbreakable, increase scar limit by 5. Increase scar limit by 5. We're going to put a quick footnote. Anchors +5 before capitulation. Faster healing, which would be actually healthy body. Humans reduce scars by 2 every day. Every rest by 2 every day. Every day, while vampires will reduce an additional scar by half. So it's kind of like the idea of being like, if you're healthy, you're going to be recovering scars pretty easy. The complicated thing there being like, you don't want to get scars to begin with. You don't want scars to begin with, so why would you ever, like, if you're taking the thing being like, oh, you can reduce the amount of scars you get. you're probably not doing too hot. Like, let's just call a spade a spade here, shall we? Okay, so let's see. Got all these. When driving, the vehicle has +1 handle. It has +1 power. +1 handling. You are going to be +5 capacity. The vehicle, capital vehicle, has +5 capacity. Has +5 capacity just for resources or supplies. Just for that, nothing else. As a free success during the new zone worldly check. So it's kind of like during the discovery phase, you know, new zone discovery phase. It's like, yeah, you get a, actually no, we can even do like well read. Seeker, fortune. I'm getting 2 fortune. Fortune during the new zone discovery, phase. I don't really know what else to call it, but like that's what it is. There we go. Feel stomach. Yeah, you don't suffer pain from eating bad food, pretty much. So it's like, yeah, you can actually eat things. What we want to do. Gastrumation. Yeah, so it's kind of the idea, like, you're not really going to deal with that first one. So, let's see. Do not suffer stress when eating a meal. Gourmet. Convert two food stuff into a 3D recovery meal for a when eating. We're going to do vampires ignore the food. Let's see. Vampires will ignore the food. For blood pain check. Actually convert when eat. Human vampires ignore the food replacement for blood pain. Check. So it's pretty much the idea of being like, if you're a gourmet, you can actually ignore a lot of ignore a penalty. There are reducing no sleep. Eyes wide shut. Mm. 2D per pain cycle, better hunting results. Mm. Mm. Okay, let's see. Gain fortune on any hunting judgment. Gain plus on any hunting judgment. Gain +1 food stuff or bauble when successful. You know, so you're always kind of getting something better. Inquire results. Fast friends. Gain fortune when finding new people in a town with inquiring. Judgments with them have fortune as well. So it's kind of the idea there with fast friends is this like you enter a town, you can find someone and you're going to get a fortune kind of dealing with them automatically because you're good with people. Mechanicus. Let me mechanics. I love mechanics. I love mechanics. Let's see. Yeah. Reduce the difficulty. Reduce the difficulty by 1 when performing mechanics with no tools. Without the proper tool with proper tools. What would be like the Russian equivalent of MacGyver? I mean, Manly, where are Manly? Manly, I need you. Manly, my little tiger ball. Where are you? Where are you, monsieur? Let's see. Russian MacGyver. I mean, I know MacGyver, Russian. Yeah, MacGyver is like the entire thing is like he can pretty much do anything you want. He can do just about anything with very little. So it's kind of like how do you improvise a little bit? Actually, no, I know. Swiss Army man. Can perform a mechanics judgment. Let's see. Can perform a mechanics judgment without proper tools. Without proper tools, as if they had scavenged. So it's kind of like one of those things, like you end up in a situation like no matter what, you can always be rolling at about an 8, roughly speaking. Like even if you have absolutely nothing, you can always treat it as if you have tools because you yourself is there. Manly, my little tiger ball. MacGyver's getting ready to jerry-rig a quantum supercomputer and superhuman liminal space shit out of 2 hairpins and a stick of gum. It's actually easy. Yeah, it's shit like that. Like, MacGyver is like... If you've ever watched some of the old MacGyver shows, it's just like, oh, he does do shit like that. It's just like, well, I have these 2 hairpins and a stick of gun. I'll just, like, rewire, hack into like a government database. It's like, why? Why would you do this to yourself? Like, increasingly bizarre, decision. But I'm like, that's not going to really work for like a Russian thing. Like, oh, you're MacGyvering. Like, that doesn't quite work. Medical. Mm, 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 mm. Surgeon General. Mm, if they reduce the scar by 1. So it's kind of the idea being like, if you take Surgeon General, you can reduce the scar by 1. It's like and regardless of what you roll, you can always reduce the scar by 1 instead of taking the recovery check. It makes it a lot more a lot more reliable. I can speak. Mm, mm, it's 2 when relaxing. Let's see. The Drifter makes a 2D recovery check when relaxing after the first recovery check. So, it's kind of like the idea where you pretty much get to do it twice. The first one is saying, oh, okay, I'm vibing. First one, I restore 2, then I make a second one, which is like, okay, I restored 6. So I restored 7 and I restored 7 in total. So it's like, okay, I'm allowed to get a little bit more there. Scavenging. Scavengong. Mm. Mm. Scavenge sense. Eye for stuff. Forfeit a bobble die for their first choice for the first choice of information. Eye for detail. I should call it eye for detail. Mm. Mm. The drifters will add +1. We'll add an additional. We'll add an additional attempt to their scavenging extended roll So it's pretty much instead of 6, you're making 7. That means more shit. You're getting more stuff out of it. Pretty easy. Kind of a little bit more easy. Little bit more stuff for you to get, which is going to get the scouting. At least I don't think I make a judgment. See if they can't find one local area with difficult 7 low. Shunt. That's it. That's the shunting something. No, okay, that's not the term at all. That's not the term at all. All right, so we need to do when uncovering, let's see, when uncovering a unmarked location, the drifters may choose to move one tile to be at the unmarked. So it's kind of that immediate thing, instead of having to like spend another action to like move a tile, which is like, okay, maybe isn't really worth it all that much. It's like, yeah, you can just shunt over a little bit. You're moving over just a little bit. You're just going a little over. Let me see. Nature, okay, so we want to do efficient tinkering. Gain, Tinker Tailor Drifter. Tinker Tailor Drifter, blah blah blah. Let's see. Lower the tinkering. The tinkering action difficulty is reduced to 6. This is reduced to 6. That's it. That's literally all it is. It's far more efficient to do this. Which we're going to be doing. Handyman, when in a habited location, may choose to ply their trade as an action. Making a tinkering check, gaining baubles equal to their successes, which is going to do the ply thy trade, which is Drifter may choose to ply their trade as an action, making a tinkering or medicine check to scoring successes equal, gaining baubles equal to the successes equal to this rolled. Let's see, so that would be pretty much it. Yeah, there. That's easy enough to understand. Rerolling counter checks. An idiot luck. When rolling an encounter, the drifter may choose to re-roll the encounter once per zone. Let's see, remove certain common fears. We're going to do pardon. We're going to do bloodied companions. We're going to do lowers pain check by 1 for right, for bloodied companions, horrifying horrifying events, terrible events, and unexpected injuries. There we go. You just pretty much lower the check by a certain amount, which we're going to do daisical, because I like the word lackadaisical because it's fun. We'll actually call we'll call it willful. Oop, let me do this. So we'll do deprivation. We'll do deprivation. Starvation. Actually, deprivation, starvation. The drifter lowered the pain check my 1 for deprivation, starvation, and witnessing paranatural events. Not really the best thing in the world. So lovely feeding. Feeding on an ally or being fed upon by an ally. Specifically doing that by an ally, where it's like, yeah, it's a little bit fucked up, but it's a little bit easier to kind of understand. Acceptance. One for up here. Vampire frenzying. For witnessing a vampire frenzy. Witnessing a vampire frenzy. Witnessing a vampire's nature. Witnessing a vampire's nature. Or any of the actually it would be or any of the lineage actually I should say awaken the sun and any of the lineage feats. Yep. So pretty much this is your ability to negate some of the vampire bullshit going on. It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm doing fine with this. Quick feat. The drifter gains a +2 to their initiative regardless of the situation. Actually, you can have initiative. No. Mm. Mm. Actually, there we go. The drifter will always act first in a combat scenario. You're the first one acting. You may be wondering, oh, that sounds really broken, and it is because you're fucking quick. You're the first one acting. Always the first one acting. But you also have to realize, this is important. You also have to realize that you're acting first. And if someone's going to choose to do something, you're sitting there like a dumb fucking idiot. So it's kind of one of those things, like it's kind of a back and forth. Vampire fears or vampire feats? Gaivich. I wonder if the Pasha actually has a verb form. Is that supposed to be vampire fear or vampire feats? Fears. Yeah, it's supposed to be vampire fears. Because pretty much everyone's got fears, which is kind of like the common things that are going to reduce your stability by virtue of just being kind of spooky, rather than just being like, oh, it's just targeting your anchors. It's, hey, I don't like starving to death, or, oh, hey, that vampire's going fucking insane and is going to kill us. I'm going to panic slightly. Oh no! The common fears are like affect everybody. Human fears are, I don't want to be fed upon by a fucking vampire. It's scary. Vampire fears are things like, they don't want to be awake in the sun. They don't like being awake in the sun. Every hour, so about 6 hours, about six of these checks every, day, every kind of the quarter of the day during midday, you're not feeling too good. You get fucking tired. However, when it comes to things like combative feeding, where it's like you feel a little bit weird, where you like to eat people. One of the most dangerous ones, though, is being flesh exposed to the sun. If you really want to lose your shit, throw a vampire with no clothes on out into the sun. They'll be dead within an hour. Like, that is how you kill a vampire. You expose them to the sun, and because they will start going insane. Because they have to roll, the best way to picture it, they have to roll 5d10, take the highest, so that would be 9, every minute a major part of their body is out in the sun. And it's like, oh. We're technically doing feats right now. They're called talents, but same idea. It's kind of the basic idea there. So yeah, this is what we're doing right now. It gets a little bit weird because you have feats interacting with fears, which are interacting with things. It gets wonky. Have no fear. Mm. 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 After the first round, the drifter does not take a panic. Does not take a panic pain check. After the first round, the drifter does not take a panic. Pretty much, you have like a little bit of an inherent advantage where you just actually, I know what we do. So yeah, you don't take any panic the first round. Second round, you're only taking 1, 2, 3. Generally speaking, you can stay on longer under fire. Critical their melee attacks to 4. That means if you want to be really scary, you play a vampire with martial arts, because you are going to be hitting on a 4 pretty consistently, allowing you to do a shit ton of damage. Paranatural expert. Actually, we should do this. Oh, navigating anomalies. Done. I'm just gonna say quickly, because like you're gonna understand how to do it. Like, overwhelming presence gain as long as the drifter is alive. Gain +2 momentum. The drifter as an action during a quarter of the day may deliberately mislead their opposition, reducing the looming dread by 5. Actually, Joker, you know, it's just like, yeah, you're reducing the looming dread by virtue of just kind of having hope. Intuitive knowledge. The narrator will tell the, well, let's see, the narrator will tell the the thing is here with the entire idea of intuitive knowledge is one drifter is going to get told something that is going to shape other people's opinion. You don't really know how much the narrator is going to be spending on these. Where if you get told, hey, I'm going to be spending 4 on this, they might say, okay, we have to deal with this now. But if it's 2, well, maybe we can work with this. Maybe I'm not going to tell anybody because I don't want anyone to freak out. I don't want people to try to go out of their way to fix this because it's not really that bad. Hence why it's kind of like you can tell people or you don't have to. My one. Reduce the amount of dread gain anytime by actions. I'm going to put a footnote. Actually, my actions footnote. Things the drifters do rather than just the end of the day cycle. There we go. Ammo scrounging. You not need to use ammunition to refill. Easy enough to understand. So it's kind of like, yeah, you can just more consistently. Let's see. The drifter no longer needs to manage their combat feat. The beast inside of me. The vampire. A vampire. This is gonna be like one of the very few vampire only ones. A vampire no longer gains any penalty. Is no longer afraid of combat feeding, taking no pain check. Pretty much, you want to bite a motherfucker in the middle of combat, go for it. Rip his fucking throat out. You don't really care at that point. You've kind of like gotten over it a bit. Extra pockets. Shoulder slung. There we go. Increase the number of gear slots by 2. Increase the number of weapons held by 1. So pretty much you can hold 3 weapons now. Increase the number of gear slots by 2. Increase pain value personal firearm by 1. So pretty much it's the idea with Armor Expert is that it goes from like, okay, instead of taking like you have a -4 to move around, you only take a -2, which really isn't like actually you'd be a +2. It's really not that bad, generally speaking. There we go. That's pretty